Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, how are we getting on? So, yesterday Wastelanders launched at long last, and it has been quite the success, based on day one anyway. So, massive overhaul to Fallout 76 is now in place. And as you can imagine, the patch notes, which we're going to go over in today's video, are quite extensive. I actually went over them yesterday during the live stream we did, which was quite the marathon and a wonderful success, so thank you to everybody tuned in for that. For those of you who haven't tuned in, you can catch that live on the channel now. The full stream is up. It's quite the marathon, as I say, so you may want to dip in and out, but the option is there if you'd like to. The video is up on the channel. But we went over the patch notes while I was waiting for the last of the update to download, and it's quite extensive, so we're going to go over that clip in just a moment. A couple of caveats. As per usual, the link to the full patch notes will be down in the description if you want to have a peruse yourselves. In particular relation to that, I didn't go over all the bug fixes in detail because, as usual, it's not the most engaging part of the patch notes. There are over 1,000 bug fixes coming in with Wastelanders. It is quite a significant change. Bethesda haven't actually listed all of them in the patch notes. The reason for that being obviously that the list is so darn long. However, you will notice when you jump into the game, I know I noticed almost right away, that a number of things that weren't actually listed in the patch notes have been fixed. So it's something to bear in mind. You may find some of those little bugbears, little irritations that have been hanging around for a while are now gone, along with a raft of other changes that comes with what is basically a full overhaul of the game in the form of Wastelanders. So, do put your feet up, enjoy. There's a little extract from yesterday's stream going over the patch notes, and I hope you'll find it useful and informative. You know where all the buttons and stuff are if you do want to hit those. It's very much appreciated. But now, we'll jump in and take a look. So, Fallout 76 Wastelanders update notes, April 14th, 2020. Doesn't that sort of downplay the whole thing? Welcome to Wastelanders, our biggest update for Fallout 76 yet. It brings an entirely new main story, including many quests to the game. I lost my line there. As well as plenty of people to meet in the form of human NPCs. It also adds dialogue system, NPC factions, allies for your camp, new events, daily quests, weapons, armors, enemies, and much more to the game. Read on for an overview of these additions, as well as other improvements and bug fixes. So, Wastelanders date highlights, well, blah, we'll be going over it twice, there's no point. Fallout 76 now available on Steam. It is PC patch 3.0.23. Yeah, there we go. 70 gigabytes on consoles, 54, supposedly 54. It ended up being a bit bigger than that on... well, actually ended up being a little bit smaller on Bethesda Net after that, and then 68 gigabytes for Steam, give or take a bit. So, Fallout 76, including the Wastelanders update, is now available for play in Steam in addition to Bethesda Net Launcher. If you already have Fallout 76 on PC via Bethesda Net, all of your progress, Atomic Shop items, and friends will be waiting for you if you decide to play through Steam. Atom bounces and Fallout First memberships, however, will not carry over. Any items you buy using Atoms will. The other thing, of course, being, if you wanted the free copy, that ran out last night, so if you haven't already linked your Bethesda Net and Steam accounts, you've missed the opportunity, but you did have 2 weeks. So, and now through April 28th, if you join us on Steam, you'll unlock the Fallout Classic Edition, put the words in the right order, a bundle that includes Fallout 1, Fallout 2, Fallout Tactics for free. I already have most of those games anyway, but I can't say I paid that much for them, to be honest. I think I got them on GOG, so, you know, pretty cheap. And head to this article on Fallout.com to learn more about Fallout 76 on Steam and get the answers to frequently asked questions. It's all available on Bethesda Net if you don't want to check it there. Welcome to the year 2103. It's been a year since the door to Vault 76 opened on Reclamation Day, and a lot has changed in Appalachia since you and the other Vault dwellers began rebuilding. There are new people to meet and things to discover as you continue your adventures. Here's an overview of major additions in Wastelanders, NPCs and dialogue. A whole host of new people have arrived in Appalachia seeking fortunes or just a safe place to live. These NPCs can be found all over the place. Some of them you can talk to and have interactions and conversations, but apparently not all of them. But then I guess we'd probably expect that. It's fairly standard for a Fallout game. Not everybody has something to say. Most have like passing remarks, to be fair. The mechanics of dialogue are similar to Fallout 3, which is always good for me, because I have very rose-tinted glasses about that game. It was my first Fallout game, so I imagine it is for a lot of people, so very, very cool. You'll have a variety of choices, special checks, and options available to you contextually. A single-player response can have any number of choices available. If there are more choices than fit in the display, you can scroll down to see them all. So there's going to be more options at times than you can actually see in one box, which is always cool. Plenty of choices to make there. Additionally, full conversations have been added to many of the original NPCs in Fallout 76. Yes, there were some. Characters like Rose, Modus, and the Grafton Mayor, and more, can be engaged in dialogue. Personally, I'm hoping for Miguel's Protectron by Morgantown Airport. I forget what he's called. Fluffy or something like that. You know, the one in the woods when you're learning about how to use a camp. Although, Mort now teaches you about that, who is, in case we have forgotten, voiced by Jay of Jay and Silent Bob fame. Sadly, the actor's name escapes me, which is a pity, but that's who the voice behind him is. Very, very cool. New main quest. The arrival of new people in Appalachia means there are many new adventures to be had. Wasteland brings an entirely new story to Fallout 76 that you can uncover and explore as you complete new quests. New main quests, even. Just outside of Vault 76, you can dive into the Wastelanders story and meet Lacey and Isla, presumably, who will guide you through the experience at the Wayward quest line. At level 20, or if you pass that like most of us probably will be, the full main quest line opens in Sutton, which is interesting. Not a well-used place in the past. It's got the Vault 76 Overseer's childhood home there. Other than that, it's a cool location with not much going on. So it will get you acquainted with the two largest factions in Appalachia, the Raiders and the Settlers. During the main quest, you will have to pick which side you work with, but for quite some time you can do quests for both factions until you hit a point of no return. Although you won't necessarily be shot on sight by the other one if you go past it from the sound of things, but you just won't be able to take quests from them. So, the original Fallout 76 main quest is still available, but expect new touches of life, both with new NPCs and full dialogue with existing NPCs. Please note, to accommodate new quest and story content, some new no-camp zones have been added to locations in the world. If your camp was in one of those areas and can no longer be placed, you will be notified on joining a world, and you will be able to move your camp for free. Big mouthful, this. Trying to go through it reasonably quickly rather than being here all day. Raiders. The Raiders are in part survivors that fled Appalachia who have now returned to reclaim the land they believe is rightfully theirs. They've built a base of operations called Crater at the crashed space station. Initially, if you encounter the Raiders in the wild, they will be hostile and attack you. Even in Crater, expect a chilly reception, the vendors won't deal with you, and they'll bring the opposite of the welcome wagon. So I don't know if you're going to get attacked if you walk straight in there, but you won't be able to get anywhere. You do need to get an introduction. We know that much, they've told us this before. Not so with the Settlers, you can just wander in for them. They're a much more agreeable bunch. Eventually you will learn more about them and you can broker up peace with them if you want, and if you want their friendship in time. Settlers are a collection of survivors gathered by some construction workers from the Washington DC area who will be very interesting to explore. When they heard there was land, they caravaned to Appalachia and repurposed existing structures at Spruce Knob to construct foundation. Settlers are happy to speak and trade with you right away. Like the Raiders, you can get to know the Settlers better over time and become an ally to them. Ward will offer a daily quest that can help you make good impression with these newcomers. Read our article about Wastelanders factions to learn more, which we covered in a video. So, gold bullion and faction reputations. This is the new endgame loop. Wastelanders features some exciting new weapons, arms and other items. You can unlock these via the new gold bullion system. After completing the main quest, you'll gain access to gold bullion, a new in-game currency. Gold bullion can be gathered by exchanging treasury notes at gold press machines up to a daily limit, much the same as you do when you're turning in legendary items for scrip. Speaking of, don't forget the purveyor has moved to the ash heap. She's at the rusty pick now. Treasury notes can be earned from Wastelanders' daily quests by completing public events. Cool. Pretty standard, that. It's about what we'd expect for in-game loop. Hopefully it'll be expanding as time goes on, though. Gold bullion can also be purchased directly from a vendor in the Wayward using caps, up to a weekly limit as well. There are 3 gold bullion vendors, one at Crater, one at Foundation, and another in a location you'll unlock during the main story. Each vendor will offer you a set of new Wastelanders items in exchange for gold bullion. So, earn yourself gold bullion, go get fancy new gear and armour. Which also will include, the rewards from the Vault raids, which have gone away. I will be touching on this in just a moment. But those rewards formerly available by doing Vault raids are now available through the gold bullion system. So, that's where you find those. Faction reputation. Some of the Wastelanders gear is only available as you become better friends with the Settlers and Raiders through the reputation system. Gain reputation with these factions by completing story quests for them, making in-game decisions, and doing their daily quests. Items you can get this way include weapons like the Gauss shotgun or Gauss minigun, camp items like farmable tiles, so that's placeable dirt basically, so you can have you farm crops in camps where you might not otherwise be able to, or at least not easily anyway. And even the yummy Appalachia treat, pepperoni rolls. The local thing, among others. So there were new recipes as well, in short. Article on the reputation system. Allies. Another exciting addition to Wastelanders, allies are NPCs you'll encounter in the world that can move into your camp, help protect it, and keep you company. So I believe there's 5 at launch? Something like that. Allies also provide adventuring opportunities through daily quests they offer. 2 of the allies are unique, both have a mini quest line, romance opportunities, and offer the chance to really get to know some interesting characters. Once you reach level 10, strike out to the Ash Heap or the Mire in order to meet them. Learn more by reading an article on allies. So short version, I think there's 5 of them. 2 of them obviously have larger quests than the others. The others are just, you bump into them and they're happy to join you. It sounds like the 2 with the larger quests are the only ones you can romance. And they've probably got the most dialogue options, things like that as well. Not a big number of them, and they don't do a great deal except just make remarks in your camp, send you on daily quests, and shoot anything that comes to attack, which tends only to be when you return home anyway, so choose what it is, but hopefully that's a system that'll get expanded over time. So, riding new events and daily quests. Riding Shotgun is the new event at Big Bend Tunnel East. Take part by speaking with Vinnie Costa near the entrance to the tunnel. He offers the event every so often, so check with him regularly if you want to help out. Merchants from the Blue Ridge Caravan want to pass through the Big Bend Tunnel with their wares, because they can't get up their hills in the Savage Divide with their Brahmin trains. But the devious Blood Eagles are lying in wait, hoping to make an easy score. Successfully defend the caravan, and the merchants as the merchants make their way through the tunnel, and you'll be handsomely rewarded. Radiation Rumble is the other new public event that's coming on launch day. Presumably there'll be more on down the line. Challenging new public event that will appear on the map at Emmett Mountain Disposal Site, which I can never remember where it is. A group of scavengers have set their sights on mining precious ore found deep within Emmett Mountain Disposal Site, but they are backed into a corner by glowing creatures. Balance your time between defending the scavengers and venturing out to help them mine ore. They'll give you a stake in the profits, but remember to wear your hazmat suit. Please God, tell me the power armor is an option. New daily quests. So there are 4 new daily quests available. As you can imagine, repeatable daily. 2 of them are available with the raiders, and those will alternate, 1 different quest each day. The other 2, one is available from the settlers, so that'll be available every day, and the 4th one is available somewhere else, and that will obviously be available every day as well. So, all 4 dailies can be completed to earn treasury notes, XP, caps, and some loot. Daily quests from the raiders and settlers will also reward you with some reputation for your efforts. New enemies, floaters, those little floating glowing bag things, not particularly dangerous, come in 3 variations, Flamer, Freezer and Chomper. Returning creatures from previous Fallout games, which is very cool. Not particularly tough, but when they swarm in with their super mutant brethren, so it looks like they'll be backed by super mutants, that's cool. They can really change a battle. Wendigo Colossus. Elusive Wendigo Colossus is a terrifying monstrosity rumoured only to rear its head in areas hit by atomic fire. So, new nuke zone creature then for the Wendigo Colossus. A little disappointed that they've actually told us where to find it at, to be honest. Like, stumbling across it, learning it through playing the game would be cooler, but there we go. But seriously tough, and even a hearty adventurer will find it challenging to square off with one of these alone. If you plan to hunt down a Wendigo Colossus, bring friends, and lots of them. Mostly because the Wendigo Colossus will bring friends. So, the Blood Eagles are bloodthirsty and cruel, a group of human miscreants fueled by chems who treat the wasteland like their personal playground. They're very much standard raiders, as opposed to the main faction of raiders who are kind of like aggressive settlers, really. So, even more frightening are their numbers. Bands of Blood Eagles have sprung up throughout Appalachia, so keep your weapons close and be ready to defend yourself. And the Cult of the Mothman. No one is quite sure what these mysterious cultists are up to, but they've recently begun inhabiting a few existing locations in Appalachia. Stay on your guard if you encounter these cultists in the wild. Be sure that they won't let you or anyone else get in the way of their rituals. That sounds interesting. So, new and updated locations, we know all about that. Created a number of new locations, such as Watoga Underground, The Deep, which we've not heard about before, but that's cool. The Wayward, new Blood Eagle and Mothman cultist camps, and more. So that's very, very cool. And additionally, with the return of people to Appalachia, even, many have already left their mark on the world. They've transformed many existing locations, like the Craft Space Station, Spruce Knob, WV Lumber Co., and others, better suit their needs. So, some bigger changes before we get onto a few bug fixes, which I probably won't go through in the grand scheme, but some of the big changes. They've changed the day-night cycle, which I'm really happy about. The whole cycle has been lengthened from 8 to 13 in-game hours, so you'll have more sunshine to craft, quest, and explore. Dawn, dusk, and nighttime have been shortened, however. So daytime has been lengthened, rather, but at the cost of day, night, and dusk, dawn, and nighttime. So more daylight, less nighttime, which is awesome, especially when it comes to making building videos. Hopefully that'll mean I'll be spending less time colour grading so you guys can actually see it when I haven't noticed it's gone dark. So, lighting. We've made significant improvements to all aspects of our lighting and rendering systems to bring additional realism and contrast to the game world. So hopefully that'll make things look way better and even better for photos. So that should be cool. General updates. Vault 94, as mentioned in previous announcement, is going away. Missions have been shut down along with the release of Wastelanders, and many item rewards you could earn by completing missions, including Strangleheart power armor plans, are now available through the gold bullion system. Presumably that also means that Vault 94 steel will also be available through there, as that's a resource you need to make it. But I guess we'll see. So, Nuclear Winter. Storm now automatically constricts based on the number of players who begin a Nuclear Winter match. It should help players get to the fun of a match more quickly and spend less time in matchmaking queues. So, the change was originally implemented in Update 16. I thought it sounded familiar. But it was reverted after community feedback that the automatic constriction was happening too often. So it was overdoing it, so they switched it back again. But they've improved it and bringing it back again. So hopefully it'll work properly this time. So, quality of life improvements. Quest UI updates. The quests have received significant user interface updates in today's update. Here's a summary of the adjustments we've made. All of your quest markers will now appear on the map. Inactive quests show up as black markers, and quests that you're actively tracking will display the yellow markers you're familiar with. So, main quests display square markers, while side, miscellaneous, etc. will now have diamond-shaped markers. So, clicking on a quest mark on the map will display a pop-up showing more details and a description of the quest, and you can also make it active, make it inactive, change things in your Pip-Boy direct from the map, which is very, very cool. New options available, so you can toggle to customize what type of quests and markers are active so when you start them. So, find them in the game settings menu. So some things will become automatically active, some won't, depending on you happen to set in the settings, basically. So you set it up any way you like, which is cool. And more details again on Fallout.com. So, additional quality of life improvements, legendary enemies. Cool. A notification now appears and sound effects play when a legendary creature regenerates to full health during combat. So it makes that a bit clearer when that occurs, which is handy. Nuke zone. Spawning into an active nuke zone when you join a world is no fun. Which, to be honest, never happened to me, but mostly because I don't camp down by where the Scorched Beast Queen is, but that may well change before too long. I'm sure people are going to start nuking new areas, not least of all being Crater and Foundation. But then again, Bethesda have planned for that. From now on, if there is an active nuke zone at your login location, you will receive a prompt offering you the option to leave the current world and search for another, much like if your camp can't be placed. Be protected from radiation for a short period of time while you make the decision to stay or leave. This protection will end early if you move, attack, or take damage, however. The idea obviously being to stop people from abusing it. Press and hold. So you view many types of pre-placed items in the world. You can now press and hold to your interact button to quickly make those items, make use of those items without entering your Pip-Boy. So you'll equip them straight away, as well as put them in your inventory. Whereas if you just want to put them in your inventory, just tap it as normal. So that applies to any weapons you find, any aid items you find, plans or recipes if you want to learn them. You press and hold and learn them on the spot rather than faffing around with menus, which is cool. Less time in menus is always good. So, public events. Description of public events on the map now include a suggested player level. There is a new radio host who we will not be hearing because there's no doubt in my mind that Bethesda will have piled, as per usual, a whole load of copyrighted music into the in-game radios. So, yeah, I won't be playing them in short. But there's a new lady called Julia who has taken to the airwaves to host Appalachia Radio, tuning to catch her quips between the tracks, which is cool. I might check it out off stream sometime, but obviously not while I'm live. So, search perks. This is one that's quite cool. The functionality of search perks, such as Scrounger and Farmer, are now automatic. You no longer need to press a button to manually search containers for bonus supplies. You'll get a friendly Vault Boy notification when your perk is kicked in, however, which is standard. So, on to bug fixes. Now, there's about 1,000 of them, according to this, that have gone in with this update. However, the big ones are listed down here. There's quite a lot of them, so honestly, if you really want to go through them yourself, I would suggest doing that. But camp and workshops are a big one. Auto scrapping no longer affects bleached dogwood, blowfly glands, blood bug proboscis, cooking oil, digested goo, mole rat teeth, Mr. Handy fuel, rad scorpion stingers, stingwing barbs, blood sacks. Tick blood sacks, rather. All things that are used in their natural form in other forms of recipes, whereas some other things that were in recipes and are now no longer in recipes will be changed so that they do scrap automatically. Baseballs are a big one, because baseball grenades now require cork, not baseballs, although you can still get cork from baseballs, but they'll scrap. So, billboards have reduced the camp budget cost of many neon billboards. That's the big Nuka-Cola ones, so they cost so much budget, it's half as much as they used to. Set of lights are working. Tinker's Workbench will now generate components if you scrap it. I'm not sure why you'd want to, but anyway. Urban and Forest Scout Armor now give you components when you scrap those. And turrets, they've addressed an issue that can prevent them firing from enemies at close range. Hopefully they've also addressed an issue that makes them shoot each other. But we'll see, I guess. A couple of changes to VATs. A couple of changes to some weapons, and mostly the descriptions of them. So, a couple of bug fixes. Bolt action weapons no longer get stuck when you're aiming down sights. They haven't mentioned here that the spin-up issue, so we'll have to see how that goes. But they have said they fixed a number of things like miniguns and Gatling lasers. Disease kills can be sold. Cultist blade does a little more damage than a machete now, which used to be the same. Makes it a bit more interesting. Fixed a few things that aren't working as properly. Solar and Thorn armors, which I think are formerly Vault 94 stuff, presumably through the Bullion system now can receive the Unyielding legendary attribute if you can get them to drop. So, I'm not quite sure how that's actually going to work. We'll have to see in time, maybe during nuke zones possibly. And absolutely loads of other stuff. Little bits and pieces. Forest Scout armor mask can now be worn with other types of headwear. There's loads of stuff. I would strongly suggest reading through it all yourself, because this is long and not massively engaging. But a couple of UI fixes as well. Compass markers are a tad more accurate than they used to be. Notifications are a little better. Use dilutors and super stim packs to revive down players, presumably with more or less health, depending on which you use. Fix the social menu, hopefully, that would be cool. Optimizing larger friend lists, and it shouldn't bug out quite so much, which is cool. Ooh, vending and trade. Players can now sell items for up to 30,000 caps through their vending machines or direct trade instead of the former 25, which is cool. Another 5,000 caps you can carry around, sure. Not a big change, but cool nonetheless. So that's basically the main gist of it.